Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the newly released Insidious Chapter 2, directed by James Wan. And as many of you know, I was a huge fan of the original Insidious. It was then, and it is now, one of the better horror films that I've seen recently. Of course, James Wan followed that up with The Conjuring, again, kind of in the same vein as Insidious, and in my opinion, just hit it out of the ballpark again. James Wan is, one of the bright, maybe at this point, I think really the only bright, shining star in the horror genre today. And he just knows how to create suspense. He knows how to tighten those screws to intensify, the intensity, and he's just a phenomenal filmmaker as far as I'm concerned. And this is, he knows this genre like the back of his hand, which is a little unsettling to me because I just heard recently that he's going to take a hiatus, possibly a permanent hiatus, from making horror films. And his next big screen effort is going to be the next Fast and Furious movie, which I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but no doubt that he's an extremely talented filmmaker. And Insidious Chapter 2 is no exception. The film starts up pretty much where the original left off. We get a really cool opening sequence showing Patrick Wilson's character named Josh as a young man, and we see the younger version of his mother and the younger version of Lynn Shay, and Lynn Shay comes in and she's trying to help him with his his ability to astral travel and into the further, and trying to help him sort of turn that off and repress the memories of it, and the fact that he's got this parasite, as the character calls it, the bride in black, who's trying to attach herself to him and possess him so that she may live again. Then we are thrust into basically the family. Patrick Wilson as the father, Rose Byrne's character as the mother, and the two young sons. Of course, the one son who has that same ability to astral travel, astral project, whatever you want to call it, out into the nether or the further. And they've moved from the old house into Barbara Hershey's character's house, which is of course Patrick Wilson's character's mother. And very soon thereafter they come to the realization that the nightmare is not over, and all those creepy things that go bump in the night start bumping again. And we have Insidious Chapter 2. And Insidious Chapter 2 is, first off, really well made. There's several really good sequences in the film. The acting is really good. Just all around a really good movie. Is it as intense? Is it as suspenseful as the original Insidious or even as The Conjuring? No, I can't say that. Still, a really powerful film. There is the comedic element involving Lee Winnell, who's the writer of the film, his character Specs, and his buddy, who are the paranormal investigators. I know a lot of people sort of, that element of the original Insidious irked them, the fact that there was this comedic relief, and it was a little bit heavy-handed. It's not as heavy-handed in this one, but it's there. It didn't bother me in the original. It doesn't really bother me here. Is it needed? I don't know, but it doesn't really bother me at all. What did bother me about the film was quite a few of the sequences that were supposed to be really intense and scary and suspenseful sort of felt a little flat to me. They weren't quite as strong as the original Insidious. Though, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of great sequences in the film. You just see James Wan doing his thing. I mean, he's using the full frame. He knows how to use his camera. He knows how to use music to heighten the tension. He knows how to build suspense and tighten those screws to just really get you white-knuckled. And he's doing that as best as he can here. Not all of it works all the time, but it's definitely better than just about I'd say 90% of the stuff that we're getting in the genre today. So I definitely highly recommend Insidious Chapter 2. If you have not seen it, definitely go check it out. They leave the door wide open for a third one. I would definitely be down for in Chapter 3 of Insidious. Probably not going to be directed by James Wan, but I would still definitely be open to traveling into the further for a third time. Definitely enjoyed the movie. I highly recommend it. Not quite as good as the original Insidious. Not quite as good as The Conjuring either. But still, as I said, pretty good movie. Definitely worth checking out. Gotta give it up to James Wan. I mean, again, I'm gonna kiss his butt again. You know, the guy knows how to make a solid suspense thriller. And the movie has made a lot of money, so there will be more. Let's just hope that whoever steps in to do Insidious 3 is at least 75% of the filmmaker James Wan. I was going to say at least half the filmmaker, but I don't know if half the filmmaker will work. Let's hope he's at least 75% of what James Wan is as a suspense horror thriller filmmaker. So anyway, yeah, if you guys haven't gone out to see Insidious Chapter 2 yet, definitely go out, check it out. Highly enjoyed it. So until next time, you guys take it easy. Peace.